As I've been watching more NBA over the years, more and more records or accolades have been either broken or tied. And as more and more records become broken, they're starting to become oversaturated. And has led me to the question I know a lot of you don't want to ask. How much do these records really matter anymore? Now obviously, I'm not dismissing any records. There are plenty of amazing feats that have been accomplished over the years. However, I mainly want to focus on scoring records, because there lies the point that I want to make. This also isn't meant to again dismiss any records, but rather to discuss the importance and the impact they have when comparing young to the old. What exactly do I mean by this? Well, we can start by taking a trip far back to a video I made almost a year ago in January. Back then, my videos were edited a lot differently, researched a lot differently, and just had a different style. But I feel like I still made some really good points. In this video, I made the claim that triple-doubles have less significance and importance and are overrated now, due to the fact that they are much easier to achieve now than in previous years. Essentially, this means that despite Russell Westbrook breaking the triple-double record, Oscar Robertson's triple-doubles are worth more than just their amount. The comments in the video as well also relayed the same sentiment and brought up some more points, so shout out to them. To put simply, the point I'm trying to make is that this record doesn't exactly depict the fact that Russell Westbrook is better at getting triple-doubles than Magic or the Big O, but rather it's easier in the entire game on a broader scale, which is made evident again in the previous video when I showed that Rohan Rondo had the most triple-doubles out of the 2012 season with only 6. Compared to 5 years later in 2017, when Russell Westbrook multiplied that by 7 with 42 triple-doubles in the season. Immediately after I made that video as well, Josh Giddey became the youngest player with a triple-double, further proving my point. So now, let's take that same idea and apply it to other records. For example, we have seen Jalen Green scoring the most points of a rookie in a single month. Does that mean he's the greatest rookie of all time? Well, it's only his second season, so we can't say for sure where we'll end up. But to say he's the best rookie of all time based off the single fact that he scored the most points in a month would put him above MJ, Larry Bird, David Robinson, even Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell. Yeah, I don't think so. Similarly, DeRozan passed MJ for the most points by a Bulls player in their first 16 games. He also almost tied Jordan for the most 30-point games by a Bulls player. Does this suddenly make DeRozan better than Jordan? If that's the case, then DeRozan is in the GOAT debate with LeBron. And I don't agree with that. And I think a lot of you wouldn't agree with that either. Paolo Banchero also had a Jordan-related stat, joining Zion and Jordan for scoring 20 points 15 times in the first 20 games. On top of that, Paolo averaged 24 points in his first 20 games, while Jordan averaged 23.2. But again, does that all of a sudden make him better than Michael Jordan? Obviously not. Now again, these are incredible feats, but the question is, how much do these records matter when we contextualize them? Just like my point with the triple-doubles, it's a far different game now, which makes these sort of records a whole lot easier. I talked about the competitiveness and how much the game has changed in my last video, so go check that out. But the main idea is how the defensive rating has fallen off, and the offensive rating has increased, meaning points are far more easy to come by. In my opinion, that makes the previous scoring records far more significant, meaning that even if these scoring records are broken, these scoring records still mean more than what they're broken by. With all that being said, that leads to probably the largest debate that has to do with this. If, or more accurately when, LeBron breaks Kareem's scoring title, will that make him surpass Jordan as the definite GOAT, after having the most points by any player in history? Now, Rusty Buckets made a video on this point that Kareem isn't the GOAT once his points get overtaken. For me, this doesn't matter too much that Kareem isn't the GOAT, seeing as how my order is already MJ, Kareem, and then LeBron, so Kareem already was not in the number 1 spot. However, does this scoring title cause LeBron to leapfrog over both MJ and Kareem to become the definite greatest of all time? To some of you, you may argue, yes, 100%. For me personally, I say no. Once again, Kareem came from a different era where points are harder to come by. Early in Kareem's career, the defensive rating was only 99.6, meaning teams as a whole only scored about 99.6 points a game. After that, it rose to 100 and has been over 100 ever since. The same can be said for the offensive rating, where teams were only scoring 98 points a night on average, while now teams can score 115, 120, 130. Hell, even the Kings this season scoring over 150. For many, people will say Kareem isn't in the GOAT debate due to no real peak or flashiness to his play. However, I don't think that point really matters. While I know I may be biased in this, I personally put Tim Duncan in my top 5 as well, and he also wasn't as flashy or had much of a peak either. He was the big fundamental. He didn't need to be flashy or have a peak. He simply went out and performed every single night, and the same can be said with Kareem. In the terms of longevity, I think both LeBron and Kareem have an argument for longevity. I used to say that LeBron was the longevity GOAT even if he wasn't the outright GOAT for me. But currently, him and the Lakers aren't doing too well, and I think that this 20th year has really been rough on LeBron. So with all that said, even with the scoring title, LeBron isn't the GOAT for me. Personally, I still put MJ at that spot, and even when LeBron breaks the scoring record, I will still say that Kareem is the best scorer. But I know that a lot of you may disagree with that, so let me know what you think. Put it down in the comments, share this video around if you enjoyed. As always, like, subscribe, all the cliche YouTuber stuff, as it really does help me out, and I'm trying to hit 500 subs by the end of the year. And anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.